Hello guys, and welcome back again to your tutorial number 4 this time, I guess. Today we're going to be discussing going a little bit more into detail on variables that could store multiple numbers. But in this case, we're not going to deal with just sequences of numbers, but we're going to deal with what they call, or what is termed a vector, and what's termed a matrices, or a matrix. A vector being just a sequence of numbers, row or column, and a matrix being a series of rows and columns, so a table, essentially, a two-dimensional table. But, why don't we start by, again, creating another variable, and this time it's going to be, well, this one's going to be a vector, so it's going to be one row. Let's call it numbers again. Set it equal to, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, so we just created a vector. As you can see, it has all our numbers in it. Our variable numbers has our numbers. Another way we could have declared this, instead of just typing or putting in a comma, so we could have done the same thing. Oh, and by the way, if you press the up and down arrows, you can also go to the previous command like you can in the command history window. So I'm just pressing the up arrow to go back. But anyhow, instead of putting commas, why don't we take those commas out and see what happens. Instead, we'll put spaces. So, as you can see here, I still get the same sequence of numbers back, and 1 through 6 shows up. We can do it either way, whatever you prefer. I usually just do it with commas. That's just me. It doesn't matter. And by the way, that noise in the background, that's Donkey Kong Country. So if you were wondering about that, yeah, that's pretty much Donkey Kong Country in the background. Anyways, back to tutorial 4. Yeah. Let's see here. So, say we wanted to access a particular value out of numbers. Okay. And say we wanted to access the third variable, our third value in numbers. Well, that's easy. We put a set of parentheses and we address it with a 3. There we go. Answer's 3. We can also set the value this way. If, say, I was to address 3 again, but this time I set that value equal to 88 or something, then you see that the variable, that number is changed from 3 to 88. Why don't we just put it back, I guess. So, there. Press the up arrow a couple times. Alright, well that's pretty much, yeah, that's pretty much creating a vector. To create a matrix, it's fairly similar, except for we separate each row with a semicolon. So let's create another variable. We'll call it numbers 2, I guess. 2 dimensions, maybe. Put in our brackets. 1, 2, 3, colon, 4, 5, 6, colon, 7, 8, 9. Close bracket and enter. Voila. We now have a table of values, and it represents a matrix. That's what we have as a matrix. Two-dimensional table. So that's how you create a matrix. To access a value in a matrix, you have to give it 2 numbers, the row and the column. So say we want to access the first number there, number 1. We do a 1, 1. Enter, bam. We get 1 back, because 1 is stored in row 1, column 1. You don't believe me? Well, let's try another example. Okay. Numbers, let's see if we get the middle. Nah. Well, let's see if we get 6. You see 6 over here? That would be row 2, column 3, right? So, row 2, column 3. Okay. I did something wrong here. Oh, right. 2. Sorry, it's a different variable. Anyways, let's try that again. See, you can believe me now. Anyways, yeah, that's 6. So that's pretty much how you address matrices. And again, we can set them. So if I set this equal to some big number again, oh wow, that's a bad example, huh? Let's try that again. Maybe a little bit smaller. 23. See, you can set the number 6 to 23. So, anyways, on the next topic here. There's an important function in MATLAB, and, well, 2 important functions in MATLAB, and one is called ones, and the other is called zeros, and allows you to initialize vectors and matrices with all ones or all zeros. It's good because it's really fast. We'll learn about loops later, but it's much faster than a loop, and manually setting each value to 1 or 0. So, why don't we try using one of them here. So ones takes the argument of the number of rows. So let's say we have 2 rows, and then the number of columns. Let's say we have 5 columns. Close parentheses. We have 2 rows of ones and 5 columns total. Also, zeros is pretty simple. Same thing, except it feeds us zeros. So we have 2 rows, 6 columns, all zeros. Voila. So, yeah, if we type in ands, our automatic variable that contains the previous calculation made in MATLAB, get all our zeros back again. One last thing before you go, though, I want to show you, is a particular means of addressing a matrix. Now, we can address it with 2 numbers, or, as our matrix here, numbers 2, we can address it with 2 numbers, or we can address it with 1. So, if I put in 1, I get 1 back. If I put in 2, I get 4 back. Well, then the question is, how do I know which value I'm going to get back? Well, let's see here. If I type in numbers 2 again, the variable, and use our little trick to find out all the numbers in numbers 2, that'll read them all back. And we can see the order here. But, yeah, so it pretty much, the way it works is, if you look up here at our original set of values, it goes from each column, and it goes down each column. So we have 1, 4, 7, 2, 5, 8, 3, 23, and 9. And that's how these variables, these matrices, can be addressed with a single number. We can also assign them too. So let's say we wanted to set all 9 values within this matrix to numbers 1 through 9. We can set it with our colon again, and this time use our sequence of 1 through 9 with a stepping size of 1, and then, right, I did it again, numbers 2. So, try that again. There, we see the 23 disappeared. That's because we put 1 through 9 back inside. Do one more example just to make sure that we have this all right. So, numbers 2, and we'll start with the set of zeros. Let's say we have zeros, 3 columns, and 3 rows, 6 columns. There's our matrix. So 3 times 6 is 18. Numbers 2 equals 1, stepping size of 1 to 18. Oh, gotta remember that colon, right? And set it equal to, and you can see the order again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It goes from each column, and it goes down each row. Well, I guess that's pretty much all I wanted to cover for matrices and vectors today, but we'll have some more stuff to say about it later, because MATLAB's all about matrices and vectors. It's pretty much the whole, well, what I've gathered, pretty much the whole means behind MATLAB is tons and tons of matrices and vector operations, but I guess that's just my opinion, maybe, I don't know. And again, if you didn't learn anything from this tutorial, well, I don't know, I'm sorry, but anyhow, I'll see you in the next one. I haven't figured out what that one's going to be either.
Awesome.
Hopefully my buddy here can beat this game in Donkey Kong, I don't know, but we'll see. I'll let you know. Anyhow, take it easy. Adios. Bye-bye.